All right, well, it's a new school year. Things are a little different now than what they were in the past, so wanted to make this quick video, just kind of get you guys a heads up on what's going to happen this year. I've got a little script here that I've written up. Hopefully I'll hit everything on here that we need to discuss. This information can change from day to day or week to week depending on what happens. But first thing on here I want to hit is our greeting and our welcome back. We're glad to be back. Glad to be back in school, trying to get back some semblance of normalcy. Hopefully things will be getting back to normal for us all here very soon. And we hope to see each and every one of you back in here very soon. It's going to be a little different, but at least we'll be back in the building at some point. There are going to be some changes that we have to make here at Murray-Callaway Area Tech Center due to the COVID-19 restrictions that we have to follow. First off is going to be the social distancing. We're going to have to make sure that we stay 6 feet apart as much as possible. If we can't be 6 feet apart, then we've got to make sure we have our masks on. Masks will be required here both in the classroom and in the lab, in the hallways. Any place where we have to travel or move in the building, we'll have to make sure we wear a mask, faculty and students all. There's going to have to be some cleaning and disinfecting that goes on in here every day. At the end of every class period, we will have to clean and disinfect everything that's been touched in the class and in the lab. Doorknobs, welding machines, the smoke extraction handles, the buttons, your helmets, your equipment and tools that you use. Your lockers will have to be wiped down, the chairs, the tables. At the end of every class period, we'll have to clean and disinfect. So we will have to stop a little early at the end of every class period for that cleaning and disinfecting to take place. And finally, on the cleaning part of it, individual personal protective equipment or PPE is going to be required for each student. We can't share lockers. We have to use an individual locker. If we don't have enough lockers, then we'll come up with something else. But we can't share lockers. Every person has to have their own individual space to store their personal protective equipment. You can't share safety glasses or welding helmets or gloves or any other clothing or materials that needs to be worn daily. You have to have your own. You have to be furnished or provided your own set of safety glasses, your own welding helmets, gloves, chipping hammers, brushes, tape measures. Everything has to be yours and yours alone. You can't share it or loan it out. Got to be provided by yourself. Number 3 on here, class, shop, and lab. So starting out today, August 24th, we've got a mix of students who are still at home using paper packets. We've got some students who are supposed to be here in person, but because of the governor's restrictions, our building's closed, and we can't open until September 28th or earlier if things change and improve. So all students who are supposed to be here in person are having to remain at your home high school, whether at Murray High or Callaway County. And then the students who chose to stay at home and work through distance learning. This has all made some changes where we've got to do our instruction a little different since nobody's here in person. What we've chose to do here at Murray-Callaway Area Tech Center is use the Google suite of training materials. So what is that? That's Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sites, whatever falls under that umbrella of Google Suite that we can use, we're going to use for your training methods. We're going to use school email, no personal emails, school email only. So if your school email doesn't work, you need to get with whoever that person is at your home high school that handles that and make sure you get your email, your password, all of that set. And Tooling U. Many of you who's been in this class before are familiar with Tooling U. We'll be utilizing Tooling U again at some point. We're not going to start off with it. We're going to do our training a little different because our training has to be consistent between in-person, distance learning, and students with paper packets. We can't utilize Tooling U for all 3 types of learners, so we're going to have to use something a little different. So be prepared for that. But Tooling U will still be utilized, just maybe not right up front. And additional instructional materials, whatever we have to come up with to make this work. So it may be something that I find out of a textbook or some worksheets or something I find a resource online. That will be something else that we'll use and utilize. And again, this will work from today, August 24th through September 28th, per Governor Beshear's recommendations. Of course, this can change. If things improve and they ease the restrictions on the schools, you guys will be back in here with us sooner. And so we'll just have to be patient and see how that works out. Most important of anything is in this different method of instruction and learning is communicate, communicate, communicate. Now, I said that 3 times because that's really important. We got to have good, clear communication between the students and the instructors. We've got to be clear in what our communication is. We've got to be concise, and it's got to be frequent. Recommend that we communicate with each other daily. Unlike what we done in the spring, this year we can't just say, hey, I need to hear from you at some point. I need to hear from you frequently, daily. I need to know that you are able to see and hear what I'm putting out there and that you're getting it and you're able to communicate back with me. So please communicate as frequently as possible. Check your email, check Google Classroom. If you don't have any of that that's working for you, I will be giving you the school phone number, my school email. You can call, you can leave a voicemail. If you call and leave a voicemail, make sure that you are give your first and last name. Don't just call and say, hey, it's Kevin. I may have 5 Kevins in class, and so I don't know which Kevin it is I've got to respond to. You leave your first and your last name. Leave me a callback number, some way I can get back in contact with you so I can communicate back. But whatever you do, if at least you can call, make sure you leave a voicemail. Okay? There's going to be technical issues. We know that there will be. That just happens. Just if you have problems with technical issues, something in the lesson that you don't understand, anything that can prevent learning that needs to happen, communicate that with us immediately, with me immediately, so we can get it resolved. If we don't know about it, we can't fix it. And if we don't know about it or you don't tell us, we can't get those issues resolved where learning can take place. We have to have deadlines. Those deadlines have to be met. They must be met. This is in order to keep instruction flowing. We got to get things finished, accomplished, and done in a timely manner, on a timely schedule. Completion deadlines must be met. As instructors, we have to keep your grades updated. We've been told that we need to be putting grades in during this time at least twice a week. If you're past a deadline, then we can't grade it. If we can't grade it, we can't post it. If you've got something that's missing or hasn't been turned in on time, then we may have to put a 0 in until you get that assignment submitted and completed. We don't want to have to do that, but that may be what we have to do in order to keep things moving quickly, moving in a steady timeline so things can continue like they should. Make sure you meet your deadlines. If you've got some reason why you can't, let us know. Again, communicate, communicate, communicate. We're going to have to use some new methods of learning. Since we can't be together in person, we're going to have to rely on different methods of instruction. This one right here, I have a face for radio, so this is a pretty unusual way for me to communicate with people. I'm not used to making videos, so we may have to use videos. Everybody that has a cell phone has the ability to make a video. I guarantee you probably made at least 1 or 2 tic-tac videos this summer, so it may not be unusual for you. It is for us, and especially for me. So you guys probably are very comfortable with videoing yourselves. That's great. That's going to make this work a whole lot easier for you. For us, not so much. So let's make sure that if we use that as a method of instruction, that we do a good job with it. We're very clear, concise. It gets to the point of what we ask for. Maybe you need to submit pictures. Maybe we're going to get online and do a classroom discussion. All these things are different from what we're used to doing, but they're similar. We're just doing it through a different method, through a different way. This is going to require all of us to learn and use different methods that we're not necessarily used to in class, but we may be used to outside of class. It's going to require us to use some appropriate behavior. If you're going to be posting something, a video, a picture, if we're doing a live Google Meet or a classroom discussion, then it has to be school and classroom appropriate. We can't just say or post whatever we want. Again, just like in school, there would be some repercussions if we didn't follow those rules and guidelines. So we need to make sure that we do that. It's just proper behavior and online etiquette. We need to make sure we do that so everybody feels comfortable using these different methods of instruction and learning. And then finally, we're going to be using Google Meet. I think we've been instructed that we should have a Google Meet at least once a week with our students. That's a way that we can do online video conferencing. Again, it's both a method of instruction and a method of communication. So again, we can communicate this way and we can learn this way. I will notify you through Google Classroom of the date and the time that we'll do a Google Meet so that you can join in. If there's some reason that you cannot join in at that point in time, maybe you don't have a camera that'll work, or somebody else is using your computer and you can't get in at that point in time, I will record the Google Meet and I will post it to Google Classroom so you can go back and you can watch it as many times as you need to get the information that we're discussing. You can listen in, find out that information. If there's any questions or discussion in the class, you can listen to that participation. If there's any information they give, dates, times, or things that you need to know, you can play that back over and over as much as you need to get that information. Okay? I expect these meets to not last more than about 20 minutes. So, I'm not going to burn up your whole class time doing a Google Meet. That's kind of counterproductive. And then finally, if you have any questions, and again, this falls back into communication. Most of our contact is going to be through Google Classroom. That's going to be the easiest way for us to communicate, both you and I. We can use school email. Again, only school email. I don't want personal email. So make sure you got your school email up and working. We will communicate through email if for some reason you can't through Google Classroom for whatever reason. Phone. Use the phone number here at the school, Murray-Callaway County Area Tech Center. Phone number 270-753-1870. My extension is 6134. So when you call the school, you want to get my office directly, use that 6134 extension. If I don't answer, again, leave a voicemail, a message. Make sure you leave your first and last name and a contact number. Okay? I'll get back with you as soon as I can. I might not be able to call back right away, but as soon as I see or hear that message, I will get back in touch with you and cover those questions that you had or those issues that you have. And so that's it. That's all I have for you today. I will be posting some assignments on Google Classroom for this week and next week. Typical back-to-school stuff, enrollment package, student handbook, things of that nature. Just the same old stuff that we always use every year. Some of it may be electronic that you can fill out online and submit back to us. Some of it may be in the form of paper that you may have to fill out, have to get somebody, your parents or guardian, to sign. Either way, whatever you get, whatever method works best for you, make sure you get that filled out, completed, and turned back in to your home high school, and then we'll pick it up and bring it back here to our school. Okay? So with all that being said, again, welcome back. It's a new year. We hope everything works out great for all involved. I'm sure it will. Be some little hiccups here in our learning, how we're doing it. Again, this is new to me just as much as it's probably new to some of you. So again, be patient and let's just try to have fun learning on how to communicate in a distant way. All right, thanks.